And so this, we are all here, correct?
Yes.
So we're ready to begin.
Sure, you can call to order. Let me just confirm that we're live. I started the stream and I just want to check on the front end of YouTube to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do.
I have to recuse
Amen.
myself.
We are all set. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, I would like to call to order the June meeting of the Historic District Commission meeting. We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Frostburg Historic District Commission implements the city's historic preservation overlay district of the Frostburg zoning ordinance. Section 4 is adopted in 2014 pursuant to the authority granted by the Maryland Land Use Article. Section 8 is adopted in 2012 by the Annotated Code of Maryland. This meeting is open to the public and is conducted in compliance with the State of Maryland Open Meetings Act. Statement of purpose. The Frostburg Historic District Commission is charged with the preservation of historic structures and the surroundings within the designated district in order to safeguard the heritage of the cities, stabilize and improve property values, strengthen the local economy, and foster civic beauty. Roll call. Vice Chair, Joseph Hoffman. William Determan. Present. Robert Rephan. Present. Maureen Brewer.
Here.
Chair John Hein is absent. Alternative member Daniel Filer is not present as well. Commissioners, I'd like you to review and approve the agenda.
Maureen Brewer, I would like to approve the agenda.
If I may, super quickly, our applicant has requested that we remove the roof replacement presentation for this week's meeting. We may be hearing that in the future, but we're not quite ready to hear that presentation this evening.
Okay. Maureen Brewer, I will approve the agenda as amended.
A second. Robert Rephan, second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion stands approved. Next, I'd like you to review, approve, for approval of minutes of our main meeting.
Maureen Brewer, I will approve the minutes from the May 2022 meeting.
Robert Rephan, second. Good motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, good. The minutes stand approved. Project presentations. We have a motion, or rather a program that is sponsored by Divine Mercy Parish, Frostburg, Maryland. And it is to replace the existing roof over the rectory and adjoin. Oh, that's what we're not doing, excuse me. Instead, we're looking at approving or reviewing for ADA access grant. Presentation by Ed Jones. Mr. Jones, come and join us.
Mostly Greg Elliott.
Do they need to sign that? Okay. Okay.
We have to sign in.
That's okay, you have to down.
I have, I'm Greg Elliott with EADS Architects. And, so we're doing a renovation project to the basement social hall. And the exterior work consists of a handicap ramp. Right now, there's no handicap accessibility to the social hall. So this is the existing conditions demolition plan. This is the new floor plan. And then on the back side here is the site plan. Here are two photographs. I'll start them on that end, and here's the same photographs on that end. That shows that white structure is existing. It's been there for longer than you can remember. Probably 30 years.
More than 32 years.
And so that white concrete block and wood structure, we are demolishing in order to make room to construct the new concrete ramp. And we're replacing the concrete sidewalk between the two buildings, between the church and the museum, and all of that's going to be heated. We're going to have a glycol system there to heat the concrete. Because it's also, since it's going to be ADA access, it's already a maintenance issue to try to get rid of the snow through that passageway. And that passageway is going to be more heavily used with the ramp there.
Will that sun will go into this area?
We are, we're stopping the sidewalk work. So right here, you can see, we're going from the corner of the church to the corner of the museum. Straight across.
See what?
And that's the First Street side.
Yes,
And to orient myself, where in this picture is where the stairs now that go down into
You made it right here. You made
That's
it
correct.
the, so that's like the east side of that.
yes,
So the ramp would be then going from the sidewalk down and into the basement? Is that what the ramp is?
yes. So the ramp goes, there's a landing at the top, which is required by code. There's a landing at the bottom. And then we're cutting a new opening and installing a new door to get into the basement. And then actually, the length that we have on the outside isn't quite enough in order to get down to the floor elevation of the basement. So we're continuing the ramp inside the building a little bit. I mean, most of it's on the outside, but that's shown on the plan. Yeah, right here you can see it. So this is all on the outside. Here's the doorway, and then there's a landing here. We're continuing the ramp 7 feet 6 inches on the inside of the building.
What page is that on, North?
You don't have it.
It might be this.
So A4,
This is the existing walkway, right?
the existing walkway on this particular drawing doesn't show the museum. The museum would be like right here. So this is maybe half of the walkway. The ramp doesn't take up the whole width of that passageway.
Yeah, the ramp is 5 feet 6 inches.
Yes.
So I have a question, so you're going to get rid of this, the white box, the entrance box.
Correct.
The new entrance for everyone will be where on this wall?
Well, there's still going to be another entrance. Let me find the best plan to show you that. There's going to be, right now, there's 2 egress points, both having stairs.
Like on the other side of this. Okay.
So up the ramp.
So if you don't want to use the ramp, still use the other door, the existing door with the
Are they going
steps.
to, is only gonna be in this first, which is that steps down like that, also on the outside?
On the other side, there is now, and we're keeping that. So you can either get to the basement through the existing stairs that are gonna remain on the other side of the building, or you can get in through the ramp.
But you're only gonna have one outside door.
No, there's two outside.
There's one in the front of the church.
Oh, okay. I always been on the side there.
Let me just get the proper plan that shows the whole thing. So the existing door that remains with the steps, I'll bring it down to your side, is right here, okay? And our new ramp is right here,
Okay.
okay? So
Yeah,
you can
either catty-corner.
get in either direction. By code, you need 2 egress points. And they should be, you should have like 75 feet
With,
separation.
with the ramp in that sidewalk area, what is left for someone walking along there?
Well, you can, so right here is the ramp.
What's the space between the outside of the ramp? and
It's about the same space. It's at least 5 feet.
5 feet.
Now,
Could be, can a wheelchair get through there?
oh yeah, it's 5 feet.
Okay.
Now, there was a pinch point here.
That's all.
The whole thing.
There would have been a pinch point here. The museum has a stairwell that we are demolishing as part of this project. And we have a letter from them acknowledging that they're aware of this and we're in favor of it.
There's a stairwell.
Because you go in and you have.
Right, right there, start the roof, just watch out right here.
Oh, that's a stairwell? I did not know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody ever use that?
It's family outer
Oh, it's like a storage or
That's
something.
We do it, then right down the basement to the boilers.
But there's access inside.
There's access on the other side and from the other side to get down there.
Yeah, those are, that's.
So that's what this shaded area is. That's gonna be demolished as part of this project and the new sidewalk will cover.
Come all the way. And you'll bring the sidewalk out front, the heated part all the way out to the,
Base the steps, aren't they?
The heated part is really gonna be all of the new side, I'm sorry.
I'm moving this back.
So from back corner along First Street of the church to the museum, and then the whole way to,
That's right.
well, there's a retaining wall here. That's the extent of the sidewalk that we're replacing. So that all of that and the ramp are gonna be heated.
So up to that retaining,
Yes, yes.
so there'll be railing all along the ramp and at the end going to the.
That's correct, on both sides. It's not shown on this plan, but I think
It shows it on that one from this,
it's shown here. Yeah,
I think this one showed.
yeah, the handrail shown on both sides here.
And what will the ramp be made of?
Concrete.
And the rail?
Railing will be, I think it's on the detail, I don't remember if it's painted steel or if it's aluminum, but I can tell you that. galvanized steel, primed and painted. And then this is what it looks like with these pickets that are spaced every 4 inches along the walkway, because a guardrail 42 inches high is required whenever you would drop off from the sidewalk. So this is along the ramp itself, and that's what it looks like at the top of the ramp, along the side of the ramp.
Do we pick the color for that?
What color do you want?
Purple.
No, I said, do we?
Oh, no,
That would be something you wanna.
we have,
You guys.
we have prime
You wanna
paint.
color my shirt on it. That's the reality, do you? It's like, I people ready to walk through.
We
there.
don't- we can't-
I don't think we
We
would.
can't say they shall
We
be.
can't pick those.
Really?
We can,
You
we
can
can
recommend.
recommend from the historic palette of colors.
Like, what do you recommend?
We don't.
I think black is well.
We'll probably go black. Black, huh?
How will the ethylene glycol be heated by the furnace in
Yes.
in the building?
That's my word.
So you have a control inside there.
Yes. Yeah, there's an existing boiler inside the building. It's, I think it's right here in this corner of the church, right in the basement.
Northeast corner.
So that's the only change in the exterior of the building.
Yes.
So on here, we're taking away the 2 walls, one on either
Correct.
side, on the other side. And putting in a new sidewalk, it's heated.
Correct.
Sidewalk goes from the line between the edge of the church and the school.
That's exactly right.
And the ramp will start,
You're asking how far back the ramp will start? The ramp will start, well, from the corner of the building.
So right here on this picture.
It doesn't start there.
No, we have somewhere here, though.
Yes.
You
The,
can see how far from here from here.
so this is a 5x5 land. We don't have an exact dimension here on this drawing. Somewhere we probably do. But just from scale, this is 5 feet. So from the building corner, it looks to be about 6 feet in. So the ramp doesn't start right at the corner, 6 feet in. And then you still have a flat landing that's 5
So
feet.
you're about 11
So
feet.
you have 11 feet before the ramp actually starts.
Then how long is the ramp before you get to the building?
The ramp, sorry.
About maybe how far past this door would be, that's my question. Because it's coming this direction, right?
Be on the other side.
Yeah, we're going into, we're going into the window. Well, here, you can, so this dash line is, right? Well, the dash line represents the white addition that we're demolishing, okay? And so see this window here? That's the opening that we're expanding on to install the door.
okay, so the new door is going to be where the window is.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. Because we're already 2/3 of the way here.
And what happens to the existing door that's there?
The existing door gets filled in, let's see.
You're trying to do or somewhere like that.
Well, I think he's talking about this.
There's the downstairs door you're talking.
Yeah. Remove existing door and frames. Turn this upside down.
Or maybe upside down.
I can't read one side up.
We have a note to fill that in with stone to match the existing conditions. And that's what we're looking for. It may not be on here.
I read that.
Oh, and
It may have been that.
you're
Oh,
using,
right here it is.
you're using the window because you need to have ramp inside the building.
Well, that particular window ended up being pretty close to where we wanted to come into the building anyway.
Mhm.
So since we had about 2/3 of the opening that we need with the window there, and, this foundation is like a 2-foot wide stone foundation. So we wanted to minimize how much we had to cut out.
Mhm.
So since the window was already there, part of it was already cut out. So we wanted to get into the basement via a window in order to minimize the amount of demolition work. And correspond with the aesthetics, because, the windows are more evenly spaced and not create an oddball opening. So that's why we couldn't quite make it down to the basement level without adding a section of additional ramp on the inside.
Right.
This door that's on the side of the building,
That is,
is that going to be removed?
no, that's.
So you're bringing the ramp
They're
out,
holding the building.
you're bringing the ramp out beyond it.
Yes, yes.
Alright.
Yeah, that can't be removed.
I figured that, but
Yeah,
I kept looking at that thinking,
that column is actually right here.
This right here.
you can see it in the picture, yeah.
Yes.
So I was gonna ask you, you would take that, I don't know how you would take that out.
We
You
can't,
know, pass this way.
yeah, we can't do that.
Where does that go? That's
It's just a structural component of the building.
I think there's wood inside there, and then you use that to.
No, it's all, let me see.
Like buttress or something.
No, it's all stone.
Is that for looks, or is that, like, paint frames?
No, I think it's for aesthetics
We're not taking
and,
it out, we're gonna eliminate it.
Well, here it is right
That's
here
correct.
in this picture.
yeah, they're all along there. We
Just
just,
cut it in. Must be some kind of support.
it is, yeah, it's structural reinforcement for the wall.
You know, provision stuff right there.
Yeah, it's like an external pilaster.
So are you gonna run into a problem when you start putting in the ramp next to that pillar that does this pillar go down?
Well, we were concerned about that. We were concerned about digging to construct a ramp and potentially undermining, not necessarily that column, but the entire foundation of the building. And what we did 2 years ago, we dug a hole, we dug a test pit in order to determine the depth of the church foundation. And we think if that test pit is indication of the way it is everywhere,
It goes all the way down.
it goes down below the floor. And we should be in good shape.
So I have a question. So you're gonna tear this out, you said you're gonna fill this with stone. Is the original brick behind this right here
Yes.
still there?
Yes.
Okay, so you're only gonna bring the stone up where it is not, whatever.
Well-
Probably stone behind this.
Yeah, the existing materials, the brick
Uh-huh,
and the stone are still there.
okay,
Now, when you go in the door, this door, you go down some steps,
Right.
and it's, if you're familiar with it, it's very awkward. The ceiling,
Yes.
here's the dog.
it goes to a peak, and I think at the
Feel it,
peak,
yeah.
it's 6'3". So you gotta make sure you go in the center
Right.
if you're, close to it. And, there's all kinds of problems. The stair, the risers are too high to meet current building
Well, I'm
codes.
sure it was, what was done. It was a
Yeah.
volunteer job.
That probably
But
does.
I'm just
So-
wondering if once you take this out.
Once we take this out, the stone and the brick are still there.
Okay,
Now, the stone that's enclosed here is painted gray,
Okay.
and somewhere we have a note that the contractors to remove the gray
Right,
paint.
okay.
And because what we want is, when this is removed, we want to see the brick to match the existing brick that's exposed, and the same with the stone.
Okay, now, when you do your demo, I'm probably gonna save any, but would you be using any of the demolition stone to fill in the hole that's gonna be here from the door, or would you want to just take that out?
Well,
Match
with,
as close as you can. This is also,
yeah, that's really up to the contractor.
okay,
There's not gonna be a whole lot of demolition stone.
okay.
That's cement floor.
Yeah, that's gonna be removed.
And
But-
the stone's behind.
So the only demolition stone, the only place where we're gonna get
It's with a window.
is where the window's at, that we're gonna enlarge for the door.
Right.
But
So
they're
the
gonna be
primary
cutting
will
that,
have- Right.
and so you're gonna have small pieces.
Right.
I don't think there's gonna be anything big enough that we wanna use to fill in this floor here.
Crazy.
So
Plumbing this year, is that in the way of anything?
that's being relocated.
So it is.
There's a gas meter there.
Yeah, they just put a new gas meter.
Yeah.
In the museum.
But that's gonna be moved shortly.
Again,
It's only 3 weeks old?
It was just a couple days old.
couple of days.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that.
They're gonna put it all the way around where that elevator is. There's no pump out, they put it in the elevator.
Plumbing.
That'd be right in the way of everything.
That's my next question. Okay. I figured you were aware. I imagine you did that, of course, they're doing it all over town.
Well, and 3 days ago, Liz was telling them, hold up, we want to see. And they're gonna get there, put it in there. Then we talked
No,
about that, she's gonna make sure we get it straight line.
The gas meter's still at that corner. It is relocated, but it's still at that corner. So see this little bump out here at the corner of the building?
Right.
It's gonna be right behind it.
You're gonna put it out.
And we have a baller there to protect it.
Yeah.
So right now, that gas meter is located
Right back there.
right there, where the entrance to the new ramp's going to be. I can show you. That's where the meter is going to go. It's right behind this pump out, so it's not gonna be highly visible. We're gonna have a steel pipe baller there to protect it. The existing location of the gas meter is just up here, but it's too close to the beginning of the ramp.
I have one more question. We received this in our packet. Is this a part of that, or is this for part of another project?
No, that's part of this project.
Okay,
That was part of addendum number 1,
okay.
and
And I'm
so,
looking at this.
That's the worst one.
Is that where the doors?
No,
that's
So
not.
that's too low.
No,
It's gonna be just like an opening, we gotta be
That's
better
one of
than
those
that.
little,
I thought you said that's.
This is out the back, right off, on First Street.
right.
so what happened,
Oh my
we had
God.
a pre-bid meeting with the 3 contractors that were interested in submitting a bid. And we walked around the building. Were you there with us, or maybe you left? I think you did leave early. And Father Ed said, hey, this doesn't look very good. What can you do with this? And the same with this. Hey, we don't need this. Let's get rid of it because it looks ugly. Let's get rid of it, fill it in with stone.
Okay.
So we added this to the project.
Okay, this is appendix 1?
Addendum 1.
You were talking about going in through an existing window, I thought that picture was.
Oh, no,
Because that's not a very good window.
no.
This is huge.
So what was that, a place to deliver coal?
Probably
or what was it?
Leave.
Yeah.
We'll have to add that.
In this store, right here?
That, the scale of that, it's a photograph, it's not the scale, you can see the size of the brick. It's not a man door. It might be 3.5 feet tall.
For the utility noise.
Yeah, it's actually, that goes into, I think, the storage for the kitchen or food, right? And I don't know why that was there originally, but it's not needed to have that. And it's just a piece of plywood.
Yeah, maybe when they had, cafeteria running every day, we needed,
I don't know, I mean, we're right beside it, there are louvers for ventilation, so I'm not quite sure where the door is ever for.
But they're gonna replace it with the metal.
Let me see.
Yeah.
what-
Put in an actual.
Yes.
Frame it in and.
And then we're gonna paint the door and the louvers to match.
So it had a historical function sometime in the past.
I don't know how historical it was, but there must have been some need.
I wonder if the other mover fell out.
But that part of it was.
Yeah, I mean, we called it a door, it may really never have been
It
a
might have
door.
just been something to hide.
There might have been a louver there,
Right.
and they just,
Put that there
something
because
happened
the
to
louver
that. The louver rusted,
rusted
and
and fell
they
apart.
just put a piece of plywood and covered the hole.
Makes sense.
So Ray, when will this work begin?
Well, we're talking about, having a pre-construction meeting next week with the contractor, and, hopefully very shortly after that, so hopefully in a matter of, probably, not 2 weeks, but I would hope that we'd be underway in about 3 weeks.
Better get started. But, and, we get the fire marshal.
Yeah, but so I submitted drawings tomorrow, it'll be 4 weeks to the state fire marshal, and haven't heard a word from him. And I talked to Bethany today, because I was concerned that that could hold up the building permit. She said, what you all do in Frostburg is, as far as Frostburg is concerned, you don't care about, the city doesn't care about the state fire marshal until the construction's done and the final walkthrough and the issuance of the occupancy permit, which is contrary to how Cumberland does things. But I like the way you do things better.
Takes the pressure off.
Yeah,
That's
works
why
better
it's
for me
fuller,
this
right?
time.
Unless something is found after the fact that requires demolishing what you already made.
Yeah, yeah. But the reality, I mean, I don't know how long the state fire marshal's gonna take. I heard that, they had 2 reviewers, 1 reviewer retired, so they're down to 1 reviewer that's reviewing drawings for the entire state.
So are they not gonna hold it up?
If we get the building permitted, we can proceed.
We're going.
Now, there could be a little bit of risk on our part if we proceed and get far enough along. I mean, let's say we don't hear from the state fire marshal for another 8 weeks, and we're far enough along in construction that we did something that is against what they are requiring. So there's a little bit of risk there.
That's just the rent, like, that had nothing to do with the kitchen equipment and the fire bell and that's all that.
Well, the firewood is something that they're gonna be looking at.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, we're gonna get a commercial fire, kitchen firewood, with a natural system.
What you're talking about now is just the ramp part and the entrance, right?
Yes.
For us.
Well, really, what you guys are looking at with the ramp and the exterior stuff, the fire marshal doesn't care about, and they're not even looking at it. They are concerned about the kitchen equipment, the hood, that's what they're looking at.
That's easy,
I'm not even sure, I don't think they're really looking at that.
Really?
I mean, That's what, you know, that they are looking at that? Okay.
So the timeline that we're looking at here is for exterior work, associated with the ramp and the doors and whatever.
Yes.
I'm just curious, for the inside, doing the remodeling of the kitchen and all of that, when does that take place?
As far as what comes first, that's really up to the contractor to determine those means and methods. What I hope is the contractor doesn't wait and complete the ramp before he does the inside work. I'm hoping that both inside work and outside work are being done concurrently, or.
But you've got to get all the appliances in and all that.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want a demolition carrying over top of the layer.
Right, right.
When
So,
they bust a hole through the wall, then I'd tear everything out at that point.
yeah, and the very first thing that has to be done, and it's gonna buy some time in the state fire marshal, is there's some asbestos abatement that has to be done. So that's with the, it's not the floor tile, there was VCP there now, it's the mastic adhesive underneath the floor tile. Yeah. So that's gonna take a week, that'll be the first week, with the contractor gets started, he's gonna be doing that. So, you know, and then he's gonna be doing demo work, he's gonna demo there's existing restrooms in there that don't comply with current code, current ADA, they need to be demolished. He's gonna do all that first.
So, no more than 3 weeks. Hopefully 2 weeks. Get started.
Yeah, I don't, it just depends on their schedule, that's what we'll find
Go
out.
JC.
Yeah, that's what we'll find out next week at the pre-construction. When we have the pre-construction meeting, we're gonna issue the notice to proceed,
Before we call.
and so the clock's gonna start.
Well, Commissioner, do we have any other questions? If not, could I have a motion for you? I have to recuse myself. Mr. Determan, Commissioner Determan will be recusing. Are we ready for that?
Yes, right.
So we're just doing the,
Maybe
812. Okay. I can do that. Rephan, I have studied the application, all relevant documents, and presentation related to the case. I'm familiar with the property in question. I find that the proposed changes are compatible with the neighborhood because there is a general compatibility of exterior design, scale, proportion, arrangement, texture, materials to be used. Based on these findings, I move to approve the proposal because the exterior will basically not change. It's closely similar in appearance to the original materials for significant buildings in the district pursuant to section 4.1.J.1 B, C, and D.
Morning, Brewer, second.
Do we have any questions before we vote, or are there any questions from the audience?
No, we solicited public comment as we always do, and we didn't receive any.
Okay. So ready for vote? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstain? There's no one abstaining. So it passes.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a big job. And when will the roof be done for the record?
It's
I'm telling you, the way that roof is, they coated it, 15 years ago, and the coat is gone, it's just like, there's nothing there. And, one's recommended, there's very few roofers in this area, first of all. One's recommended tearing all the way down to the sheet, but new sheet. Because it's got this weird metal with just a thin strip of it, you know. You can't, nothing you can do with it, so that's involved. We're talking big bucks. So,
Is it slate?
yeah, it's metal.
Oh, okay.
Same.
Yeah, the
Really?
ribbon all the way up.
About 2 feet apart.
Yeah.
So,
I like the fake slate.
I know.
You were going to
You
put
can't
on,
get
it's terrific.
can you get it right
We just put it on a house down Main Street.
there? Who did?
That's,
ABC.
That is the thing.
that's aluminum, or that's metal,
That's a metal tile, fake.
It looked like
Looks
that's
like
like,
slate.
I saw one of them, Charlie Brewer, he's right up the street from me.
And
I was called synthetic, I think.
They're about that big. I didn't.
there's one on Upper Main Street too, Janice Field.
We got one bid of $330,000. Ooh, we gotta come up with some more. And one guy says coat it, the other guy says don't coat it. One guy says tear it off, one guy says put purlins up, put metal over it. And another guy says, no, you can't do that with metal roofs. So I don't know what to think. I'm getting an education on roofs.
You'd create a heat sink issue that's gonna cause other problems.
Well, they're still working right up the street from me, I'm 263, so that's probably about maybe 259 East Main. They've been working on it for a week and a half.
It's Himmler's house, right?
What's that?
That's Himmler's house.
I think it's seamless gutters, I think that's what's doing.
So they do say, yeah.
Seamless gutters,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
They do the roofing, because I looked into it too for mine.
well, I was wondering, because I didn't see them doing any gutters, and I thought, you know, they're there the next day, and then they're there the next day.
Yeah, they've been there a while.
Yeah,
I was worried they were having no.
when are they gonna do those gutters?
I appreciate you mentioning that, because I'm gonna try to give them a call. I gotta get a third opinion or fourth opinion.
Well, hey, our contractor on this project, they do roofs too as well.
Oh, well, maybe they got a solution.
You know, looking at the rectory, on top you have shingles, right? It's not slate.
Oh, the first layer, yes, around the porch,
Mm-hmm.
that's all green. But then you roll it up, and that's where all the metal is. It's, you got all these dormers and the angle cuts, I mean, what we did was gonna be expensive. We gotta do something.
Well, I'll break the bad news to you. When I was sitting the other night, if you look up on the church, there's a couple pieces of slate.
Oh,
Stand up in front of the rectory,
on the rectory side,
stand up right in front of the rectory and look up. It's right on the edge. You can see the barrel there. Well, I meant to tell you that the other day.
yeah, thanks.
So to be,
Right on that.
That costs more than,
to be continued.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, thank
So that
you.
explains why it wasn't presented tonight.
yeah, because I don't know what I'm doing with it. I thought I knew, until I got a bid for $330,000.
that was to rip everything.
We're going to off, new sheeting, and then synthetic shingles, or synthetic slate.
Synthetic slate.
And then that's labor, very labor intensive, because
Yes.
you're only covering a little
You're already
area like
covering-
this.
Yes,
Yeah.
they've been, this is the second week, I think.
Yeah, because they just did the
That's not a
Mount
big
Summit on Main Street with real slate.
Mhm.
And I can't comprehend what that was cost. Which one was that?
The one, my cousin Gretchen's house.
81.
It's right up next to Janet Deal's.
81,
The
the one we approved last month.
They only did 3 feet from the edge, but then they put copper, colors in.
Absolutely.
And they did the snowbirds, and that was a company out of Pennsylvania somewhere. So
They were there a while.
Yeah, because it's impossible to get through this.
I think they were on the next day.
Yes, that's tomorrow. Because,
You have
I mean, even just.
Virginia left
better
there before I
across
left.
the border, it's like $25,000.
And then I'll have,
It's actually- And that was,
I'll have them, oh,
I mean,
do you
we
have
lived
copy of the
over when
application?
Methodist church across the street. When they were, they had that.
Okay.
He said, will you come and look at our house? And they said, no, we don't do it. I said, but ours is Just
Okay,
to
so you're-
slide, I mean, it's like,
Well, that's gonna make it a whole lot easier to get into.
so we had crazy people up on the
For
road.
people that aren't this innovative,
Do we need to provide all four sides?
They were staring at me.
people that don't speak too good, that don't have bells,
Hanging
not
out.
about it.
Okay.
You know,
Because
it's
we're gonna get,
I think it's a little bit steep too, but
steep and that's where the same time, so. It's really hard to do.
People were doing. People were
Yeah,
doing-
well,
there
so
was
it's going
times-
car, I don't know.
There was
It's
times
set back
themselves to
to
the
the applicant,
side.
where they don't know where their property is.
It should be enough,
Well,
wide enough,
But if you want
people line there, they don't have to.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Motion.
very much.
Thank you.
Okay, all this,
Thank you, folks.
Okay, thank
okay,
you.
thank you.
I
Appreciate it.
And good luck on the search
I
for
didn't
the
feel
right route.
Well, probably these numbers.
Yeah, and I think sometimes you do have to go to Pennsylvania, you know.
Well, if you Google up, there's 3. And one of them, and I called Tommy, and they said, no, you don't do
Nielsen doesn't do
it. Who wants to park on a roof?
Well, and also you might have to get like a commercial route or two.
Okay,
All right, then.
old
Thanks, everybody.
business. We have no old
Do you
business.
need to do more office?
I have all business.
Old business, we do.
I just wanted to share the, Matt was here a few months ago, with the EDA and when they finally put everybody's sign back up, so I just wanted to share.
Oh, I was walking past that the other
And
day.
it turned out great. So-
Oh, they were putting it up today, weren't they?
Yeah, so this is the first time that SSU was. So
Sorry, I forgot you.
that was.
So they off both.
They've been there
You've been
for
there.
years. This is the first time that.
What's your, are you upstairs or are you-
This is Mountain City Traditional Arts are part of Frostburg. This is the first time they added the artist.
I think everybody thought they had left when that all came down.
I fought that battle for years to keep them, and I shouldn't say it.
Thank you very much.
Two more updates. I saw them both today. I came the back way up Taylor Street. Remember we approved the fence around Uncle's?
Yeah.
That's finished. That looks really nice in the back. I don't think they did anything to the front yet, but they have that all around the back. I mean, it looks like the garden's still there. And then the other project behind, what's it called? I want to say Grow West, not the brewery, where the wall came in, the deep end, yeah. Looks like the back of that's already finished.
They did,
And they did.
terrific work,
Ton of work. They really pointed that off to the,
and that pointing work they did was just terrific.
so they did a lot, it looks like they maybe did the whole.
They went all the way up to the
top.
top.
And then they get out off to the left as you're looking at it from the right. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
they did the whole thing.
Really good job.
Because I walk my dog. Okay.
Is there any more old business?
No, that's all I have.
No more old business? New business? 14 West Main Street, wall repair update.
I think you're looking at.
Oh, you might be looking at the
I'm looking at the old one, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. We have under new business, we have NRC commercial tax credit program, Bethany.
Yes, we just wanted to share with you, a tax credit program that the Maryland Historic Trust is offering now for, commercial properties or income producing properties, as they refer to it. I gave you the link in your agenda packet that shows, kind of what the criteria is for that tax credit. Of note, for each fiscal year beginning 2023 through 2021, the appropriation to the reserve fund for that was increased to $20,000, or excuse me, $20 million annually. And the cap on the qualified expenses increased to $5 million at level 1 or level 2 opportunity zones, which the opportunity zones in the state are assigned a level number according to the populace they serve and other factors. So for level 1 or level 2, which I believe we are, that would be a $5 million cap on the tax credit. And then it doesn't qualify as level 1 or level 2, 5.25 million for level 1 opportunity zone projects and 5.5 million in level 2.
So I have a question, the map that was sent out, it has this little green blob of Frostburg, but it doesn't really tell you what streets or anything. Does that
Right.
include Main Street, or is it like a hub zone?
Oh, definitely.
Only one side of the street works?
It would definitely include Main Street.
Okay.
It's pretty
Goes
much.
all the way up Big Savage, in fact.
Opportunity zone?
Mhm. Yeah, it's a very large portion of our city limits.
So, so I kind of read it, but I didn't really understand how it works. So if you have an existing, I may be getting this confused with another grant that's out there, so. Because I think that grant I'm thinking about is the one for vacant buildings.
Are you
With
thinking
the-
of Invest Allegheny?
I think I read it.
Okay, that was initiated by our county commissioners.
So this one is through the state.
Yes.
So like say you have an existing building, and maybe one of your floors is not ready, but it could be an income producer. Like if one floor needs to be renovated and everything. Would that qualify for something like this?
I believe what they say, they have a worksheet here. It has to be affordable housing and then, oh goodness, I don't have Excel on this laptop. I
Okay, that's
apologize.
okay, I can look it up.
But, it breaks down, the number of bedrooms per unit and, what the minimum rent for that needs to be. And I believe they have the formulas pre-built into that, so you can just use it, to plug in whatever you're thinking for the project.
Do you think it's mainly for existing housing or to build new affordable housing?
I will be honest in saying I haven't dug too far into all the criteria. But you can create housing as long as it meets those affordable housing, minimum or maximum rents.
Some percentage would be good around here.
I mean, all their the definition that they give of rehabilitation is defined as work that will return a structure to a state of utility through repair or alteration, making possible an efficient use while preserving portions and features of the structure, site, and environment that are historically, architecturally, and culturally significant. So that's pretty broad.
As long as it's a historic structure.
Right, so, the very minimum,
History school.
Cost. Yeah, Hill Street School.
Somebody bought those.
Somebody bought that years ago.
$9,000. Oh, that's pretty
It
good.
was very little, and it's still there.
Yeah, but it's gonna cost you that $5 million. And at least $500,000 for the room, right?
It did probably have a slate roof on it.
Okay, well, I'll have to read more about it, but that's, I like the definition, that sounds like you can pretty much
yeah, it is very
have an
competitive, I would say.
entire floor and kind of like, you know, make that for business or something as opposed to making it like it has to be housing.
Right, right.
It can be, but no.
Yeah, anything income producing, so, I mean, that could
Okay.
be you're renting it to another business owner, or you're renting it to,
Can you rent it to yourself?
I think that
What
might,
what if you're the business owner?
I am not
Okay,
100%.
I got lots of questions.
Something tells me that may not fly. I don't know.
Well, all the contacts,
If you're restoring it, though.
all the contacts, that you can forward those specific questions to are listed at the bottom of this page.
But that is cool that there is this opportunity zone. It's such a large portion of geography here in Frostburg and West. Yeah, something to be investigated.
Someone writes that down, so.
Okay, and I guess that concludes our business for today. May I have a motion to adjourn?
I think the motion.
Motion, Mr. Detter.
Wayne Brewer, a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We.
Thank
Any
you.
ever said no? Certainly.
All right, just give me a moment to stop the live feed, please.
You're what?
So,
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I got
You need one.
synthetic
You know what I don't use?
slate.
I was thinking,